Brought to you by Express Care Health and Skin Center. Get in, get out, get better.
Happy day and welcome back to Healthy Living. If you're just joining us, tonight's topic is stormy weather, how weather affects your health. Dr. Jitka Lom is here in studio with us answering now some of our viewer questions. The first one is, why do my joints hurt when a storm is approaching?
Okay, that's a good one. Well, it's again due to the pressure going down in the environment and cooling, the temperature generally cooling. But it's mostly a pressure thing. So the pressure on the outside is going down, pressure on the inside staying about the same. That means there's a little tiny bit more swelling in the joints. That'll correspond with stiffness and achy, painy feelings. And these can be really profound and very accurate. People can pretty much tell when the storm is coming.
And so what can they do about it? Is it just Tylenol?
Layering more clothing is helpful. Massaging, keep making that circulation go better into the joints. So what you can do too is a hot bath or a massage even, anything to make the circulation improve in your joints.
Okay, the next question is, my eczema tends to flare up during the hotter months on island. I know about this. I've got a goddaughter, and even my son has eczema, and so whenever they get into the heat, it's just the poor babies just really break out.
Yes, and we didn't even talk about the weather affecting your skin, but of course it does. Hot, humid climates can, in some cases, break people out with eczema. In other situations, it's a cold climate that will make them break out, or a dry climate. But certainly, when your skin, if you have very thin skin, like people with eczema do have, and they're kind of moist and their areas are rubbing, like in this area here, around your elbow and so on. If the skin's rubbing, you're going to get a little bit of breakdown, a little bit of irritation, and a lot of eczema happening, a lot of itch. So some children really can't stay outside during recess and so on. When they have eczema, they need to be in a cooler climate indoors. Sweating can really affect them.
Okay. Why is it that rheumatics dread the arrival of cold and damp weather?
They truly do. Again, because the circulation slows in the joints, there's a little bit lower pressure outside, a little bit higher pressure within the joint, and sluggish circulation. And so you'll get more swelling, more pain, inflammation, and it's quite uncomfortable.
Okay. The next question is, can weather affect eating patterns? I notice I tend to snack a lot more when it's extremely hot.
Oh, that's interesting. If you're snacking more when it's hot, it's because you're probably perceiving thirst. Many people confuse thirst and hunger, and they're eating because they think they're hungry. In fact, they're thirsty. So try to always drink first and see if you're still hungry after you've had a couple glasses of water.
That's a good tip.
Many other people become less hungry during very hot weather. So it just depends on the person. A lot of people, when it's winter time, they'll stay home and eat more.
I was just going to say, when it's rainy weather and we're stuck inside the house, I tend to want to eat more.
And hot things, soups and chili.
To keep you warm.
Yeah.
Okay, can a higher level of physical fitness and health help? I am assuming that this question has to do with helping with the sensitivity to the weather.
Yes. In fact, if you condition yourself, accepting that there are different situations in our climate, you can adjust and accommodate. And so, what people do when they're high-level athletes is that they'll intentionally run in very wet and rainy weather or in extremely hot weather to make their body acclimatize and get used to it. Or, prior to the Olympics, they travel to whatever location and train in that location, knowing that their body will adjust to that climate over a short period of time. So the more you test and push your body to adjust to a new climate, the more it can do that. And it doesn't take very long. Now, you should not do this in an extreme way if you're, not used to exercising. Don't suddenly go out and run in the rain. But if you're already thinking about how you can become less weather sensitive, just expose yourself to more weather.
Okay. And our last question says, my grandpa says that he knows it's going to rain hard whenever his hips and knees hurt. Is he telling the truth?
He really is telling the truth. He's better than the weatherman probably. But yes, he's feeling that ache and pain because of the change in barometric pressure, and you can trust him.
Okay. And during the break, you had mentioned, was it stress and
yeah, seasonal affective.
Seasonal
seasonal affective disorder, and this is one that's more common in colder climates, northern climates, where there's wintertime, and what we find there is that people get really quite depressed when there's very short amounts of sunlight per day. So in those winter months, they don't get a lot of sun. You'll get people with depression. So what they actually do is provide a special kind of light. It's like a little hat where they get up in the morning and shine the light right into their eyes and whatever they're doing, for an hour or two, so that they get that exposure to sunlight, and that helps their mood. So better than any medication. So you see, so that tells you that the amount of light that we get affects our emotions, it affects our mood, and it affects our health. So it's important to be aware of it.
And it's always good to be outside and enjoying that sunshine,
yes,
especially
exactly.
when we have it, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Any last words of advice that you want to leave with our viewers on this topic?
Well, sometimes we complain a lot about the weather, but it's just part of the cycle. We need those times of rain, times of sunshine, and so if we participate in nature, we'll probably be much healthier.
All right, Doc, thanks so much for coming in. Doc will be back again next week, and we will be talking about dermatological diseases, everything from basic skincare, eczema, common infections, and more. If you have any questions, of course, you can send them to us at healthyliving@kuam.com.